All right, today we're diving into a really sneaky new piece of malware called ValleyRAT S2. And this thing isn't just about sneaking onto your system, it's designed to be almost impossible to get rid of. It really is like a ghost in the machine. Let's dig into how it works.
So think about this for a second. You find malware on your network, you do the right thing, you terminate the process, you breathe a sigh of relief, and then just a few seconds later, poof, it's back, like nothing ever happened. That's the kind of resilience we're talking about today.
So what exactly is this thing? Let's get a closer look at the culprit and what it's after, because this malware, well, it's a specialist.
ValleyRAT S2 is what we call a second-stage payload. A good way to think about it is it's the main invasion force that shows up after a little scout has already snuck in and opened the gates. It's a remote access trojan, or RAT, which means it gives an attacker total remote control over a machine, and it's built for one main purpose: theft.
And you know, it's not just grabbing random files. It has a very specific shopping list, and everything on it is extremely valuable. We're talking the keys to your financial kingdom, from your bank logins to private company spreadsheets. The goal here is simple: follow the money.
Okay, so how does a ghost like this even get inside in the first place? Well, the methods might sound a little familiar, but they have a really clever twist that depends on tricking both you and your computer.
The attackers are using some classic social engineering here. They're hiding their malware inside stuff that people might actually want to download. You know, a cracked version of some expensive software or a cool new AI tool that promises to organize your spreadsheets. It all looks totally legit right up until it's too late.
Now, one of their absolute favorite tricks is something called DLL sideloading. All you need to know is that DLLs are basically little helper files that programs need to function. And this technique, it's a brilliant piece of deception. Instead of kicking in the front door, they trick a program you already trust into holding the door wide open for them.
So let's just walk through this. You launch a program, something you use every day and trust completely. That program needs one of its helper DLLs to run. But the attackers have already swapped the real DLL with their own malicious version. The program doesn't know any better, so it loads the fake one. And just like that, the malware is in, running with all the permissions of that trusted application.
Okay, so the rat is in the house. What now? This is where ValleyRAT S2 really gets to work, turning your machine into the attacker's personal command center.
And remember, that name, Remote Access Trojan, is no joke. It's literal. The attackers now have a remote-controlled dashboard for the victim's computer. They can pretty much see what you see and do what you do, all from halfway across the world.
This gives them an absolutely insane level of control. They can steal your files, install even more malware, log every single key you press, and even inject their code into other trusted programs like WhatsApp to stay hidden. To put it simply, they own the machine.
But honestly, a lot of that is pretty standard for a rat. Now we get to the part that makes ValleyRAT S2 so incredibly dangerous. This is where we go from a simple infection to a truly resilient occupation.
See, an attacker's biggest fear is getting found and kicked out. So the creators of this malware built in a ridiculously powerful survival mechanism. They wanted to make sure that once it gets in, it stays in, no matter what.
It doesn't rely on just one trick either. Oh no, it uses layers of persistence. It sets up scheduled tasks so it can relaunch every time the computer reboots. It buries itself deep in the Windows registry. It hides inside other perfectly normal applications. It's a real belt and suspenders approach to not getting deleted.
But the real ace up its sleeve, its secret weapon, is something called a watchdog loop. It's a tiny, separate script, and its only job is to watch the main malware process. If that process ever gets shut down, maybe by you or by an antivirus program, the watchdog brings it right back to life, instantly.
And here's how it works. It's brutally simple. A little script reads the malware's unique ID. Then, every 15 seconds, it just taps the system on the shoulder and asks, hey, is that process still running? If the answer is no, it immediately and silently relaunches the malware. It is a relentless, automated cycle of resurrection.
And get this. Here's the actual code. You don't need to be a programmer to get what's happening. This part here just checks if the malware is running. And this next part is a simple if-then statement. If the malware process is gone, then run the command to restart it. That's it. It's that simplicity that makes it so dangerously effective.
So if you can't just kill the process, how in the world do you actually get rid of this thing?
And that right there is the million-dollar question for anyone trying to defend against this. You can't just pull the plug on it. You have to be smarter, because this malware is literally designed to outlast a simple takedown attempt.
Taking this simple approach it's doomed to fail. Killing the main process is like cutting one head off a hydra. That little watchdog script will just grow it right back. The only way to win is to go for the heart. You have to dismantle the entire operation all at once.
So a successful cleanup has to be a coordinated strike. You have to find and kill the scheduled tasks that start it up. You have to find and delete those watchdog scripts. You have to remove all the little files it uses to track itself. And only then, once all of its life support is gone, can you finally terminate the main malware process for good. You have to remove the ghost and all of its anchors to our world.
What ValleyRAT S2 really shows us is how cyber threats are evolving. It's not just about breaking in anymore. It's about staying in. And that leaves us with a really important question to think about. As malware keeps getting smarter and more resilient, are our defenses actually keeping pace?